revolutions, famously they began, in the modern historical period with the French Revolution and the American Revolutions. What's interesting is that the French Revolution was really the first utopian revolution. This was the attempt to radically restart society without any reference to inherited principles and ideals. So you had in France a very highly stratified society. It was a monarchy, and you had the French revolutionaries wanted to just sweep it all away, start with a new year one, abandonment of religion and inherited institutions, and begin again. And famously, the revolution ended with the guillotine. Thousands of people guillotined, and this radical reorientation of society just couldn't work because you need inherited institutions to provide stability. And you can, within an inherited institution, you can make adjustments and make some fine tuning to the machinery with the ballast and stability these inherited institutions provide. But you get rid of these institutions with vague notions of liberty, fraternity, and equality, and you've got nothing to guide you. And the revolutions, they devour their own. The American Revolution, by contrast, was not a radical sweeping away of inherited institutions. What the American revolutions wanted were precisely those freedoms and legal guarantees that were provided in Britain. So the Americans actually inherited many of these institutions and principles, and they expanded on those. Very different outcomes. And revolutions typically, the vast swath of people deeply unhappy. It's a very complicated question in various revolutions, how the dynamics play out. In terms of general principles, and particularly in modern societies, it's very difficult for the mass of the citizenry to rise up against the state. The state is just too powerful. With communications technologies, with large armed security and military police forces, what happens in successful revolutions is that the leaders of the institutions, very often corrupt and oppressive, they start losing support of those people they need to support them. The very powerful members of society, and these people start seeing that the benefits of supporting this corrupt regime is being outweighed by the costs, and they throw their weight in favor of the public. And it's only when these elites, including senior members of the military and civil service and all of that, their support starts waning for the regime, and they throw their lot in with the public. And needless to say, it inevitably ends with a great deal of discord and chaos, and regaining stability can often be a very difficult challenge. In a lot of cases throughout the world, you get one corrupt regime being replaced by another corrupt regime. And in Africa, this has been particularly true. Tribalistic violence and rule has been just an inhibiting factor in economic growth and prosperity in Africa. One tribal group seizes the reins of power, uses that to enrich their tribal elite members and to buy their support, and everybody else is desperately poor. The government could not care less about them, and occasionally there's a revolution, and same business, different tribe, but the same game is being played.